So my next guest today is Rick Fung. He is a CEO of a company called NanoFlowX. So welcome, Rick. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So you have got a really exciting new product that you've brought to the market here, which is a nano coating, but it's a dip process.
Yes.
So it completely submerges and covers the board. Now I guess the benefit of that is you're getting all the edge coverage, but the question is what happens when you try to connect to connectors and other systems around the edge of the board.
Right. So essentially what we have is we developed an ultra-thin nano coating, and the coating is designed to not impede on any of the connectors, because masking is such a labor-intensive, time-consuming effort, and is not often done successfully, which causes rework, and that becomes another labor-intensive process to remove the coatings and redo the masking and reapply the coating as well.
Right.
So we solve that with an ultra-thin coating that allows the electrons to pass through. So it doesn't impede on any of the connectors during the dip coating process. And like you said, dip coating process is great because it simplifies the coating process itself. One dip for 5 seconds encapsulates 360 degrees all the nooks and crevices, the edges of the boards, and then you're ready to do a heat application, a heat cure process, which is typically on a thin coating. At 500 nanometers, it cures really quick in about 3 minutes at 80 degrees Celsius.
Right. Okay. So it's an IR oven.
An IR oven. That's it.
Yeah. That's it for about three minutes. Well, that's very fast because usually they're about 20 minutes these things.
Yeah, 20 minutes, and then like Humiseal will take 7 hours for a full cure, or 24 hours for a full cure, depending on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the electrical connection path is not impeded because of it's such a thin coating. You've got a very thin coverage of the board, so you're using less material.
Yes.
What sort of size of
So the coating material ranges from 300 nanometers thinness to up to our average is about 2 to 4 microns.
Okay.
So the consumption rate is extremely low versus a typical conformal coating, which is running about 70 microns.
Right.
Yeah. So the consumption rate is much higher.
Okay.
On those ones.
So what about having to do any rework on the board? Is there any impediment there?
Yeah, there's no really simple process because our operating temperature of the coating is minus 60 degrees Celsius to 260 degrees Celsius. So a user or operator can simply unsolder, let's say an IC component, and resolder a component. It just burns off the coating. And they can touch it up with additional material and just apply heat to it. You don't have to recoat the entire board or use additional solvents to remove anything. Anything with a self-cleaning solder flux is good to go already.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really good. Is there a name for the actual? Is NanoFlow? Is that
NanoFlowX is the brand. We have a line of products from V1 to V4, and we have a new non-fluorinated product, which is VX3, to meet with the European compliancy of having like non-PFAS or fluorinated materials.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's happening.
Okay. So just to get some background on the company, you do a lot of work in other industrial applications, but you also have done a lot of work with this material in military applications. So if it's working in military, it's going to be pretty good for working in standard SMT processes.
Yeah, exactly. We first started seeing a problem with the cumbersome efforts of using a standard conformal coating or a paralleling process. And the military was using a paralleling process, but that process all involves a masking step. Well, how much protection you get when you're masking all the sensitive components and the connectors and then applying a coating which you still can't pour water or submerge a board in water. And so you're not going to have the harsh environmental conditions that the DoD or defense products requires, with salt air or dust, humidity, those conditions, survivability, operational readiness are concerns. Yeah. So we solved all that. Yeah.
That's incredible. And it does obviously meet a lot of different IPC standards, etc.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've completed all the IPC A30, mil-spec 46058C. We go as far as doing IP67, 68 testing on the actual conformal coating as well. So you
Right, the submersible.
submersible.
Submersible. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fairly unique product.
Yeah, it is. We're not new to market. We're new to certain industries, and we're expanding the reach. And we get a lot of comments about it being too easy.
Yes.
It's like it's snake oil. It can't be true. You don't have to mask. It's a dip coating. It's done in 3 minutes. So we get a lot of comments about that. And until the customers actually test it and see it for themselves and validate, they're like, yeah, this actually works. And our booth here, we actually show products in water and pouring water on there, to validate.
Right. I mean, how messy is it to work with, to handle? I mean, if you're dipping it, you're bringing it out, it's dripping. I mean, and then you put it in an IR.
Yeah, it's actually very, very easy because the viscosity is so low.
Right.
And to start it, it's a DIY process where anyone with a Pyrex tray, a glass tray, can just pour the solution in a glass tray, wear gloves, place the PC board in our solution for 5 minutes, take it out and use a heat gun and heat cure both sides for, say, 2 minutes, and you're done. Take the remaining solution, pour it back in the bottle for future use through a filter, and that's it, and you're done. And now you can do assembly, and you have an IP-rated board, electronic.
It's incredible.
Yeah, very. We simplify the entire process.
Yeah. Fantastic. Great. Well, how do you plan to sell it around? Have you got a rep network? I know you're working with Murray Percival, but I mean, is that how you're planning to sell it around the U.S.?
Yes, I think we have a model of doing. We have some distribution overseas that's non-exclusive, but we want to work with reps. I think the relationship with the reps and their clients and them meeting the customers is something that we can't replace. They have the rapport, and we want to build that.
Well, they have the relationships, but
Right.
I mean, what about does it need a lot of process support in any way?
Actually, we'll support the technical side, but we're actually supplying them with an actual kit that they can actually go and meet the customer and coat the customer's board on site,
Right.
in person, which they can do in 3 minutes.
Wow.
And that'll be something that's customers will be shocked because their process right now is hours.
Yes.
And we can, and now Murray Percival or other reps can demonstrate that in 3 minutes, a live demonstration in 3 minutes.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. Not just the coating process, but actual water beating off the board and submerging that powered on product in water can be demonstrated in minutes.
What different kinds of applicators do you need? I mean, or do you use? I mean, you mentioned they're doing it just in a Pyrex dish, but I mean, is that the typical way to do it, or do they have dipping baths? Or
Yeah, great question on that part. We have an automated line which can speed up the process for customers with higher volume. Essentially, you can have a custom-made jig that preloads a board. Let's say it holds 10 boards, and a custom dip tank, and that. It's all based on size of the PCB board, of course. But a 6-axis robot arm can pick up that jig and then do that whole entire dipping process, or orient the board to drain excess solution out of the connectors before it goes into an oven.
Yeah.
But at 10 boards a jig, and that coating process is 15 seconds, you're doing 40 boards a minute, 2,400 boards an hour, and 40,000 boards in an 8-hour shift, which is fairly quick.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a fairly quick process for a very little investment. Of probably under $50,000, and you're ready to do a whole dipping process.
And presumably it could be more than that. I mean, depends on the size of the board you're doing, of course. But I mean, you could that could be a jig that's holding maybe 8 different boards in it.
Yes, actually, we've actually designed custom jigs which have a spring-loaded arm that can hold between 4-inch boards up to 13 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fairly robust ways to do it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, exciting product, and I really want to thank you for coming in and telling us about it today.
Yes, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Kaizen is the leading global supplier of award-winning cleaning chemistries for electronics assembly operations. Whether you are cleaning stencils or final assemblies, our global team of cleaning experts is there to help you succeed. Want to know more? Stop by our booth or visit kaizen.com.